I'm excited to be heading to Idaho with my good friend Santino to hunt spring bears with Dan and Rod Staton. The Statons have a cabin in Idaho and have been preparing some bait sites for us to hunt over. Dan and Rod extended the same invitation to us last year, and although I was unable to go, Santino did, and he killed his first black bear. I've hunted black bears 2 times before in Alaska, but have yet to kill one. It sounds like there are a lot of bears, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to get my first black bear ever.
I'm getting anxious.
Victory begins with a single step. It is formed in strategy, tested by adversity, and forged with an iron will. But for victory to be pure, it must be earned. Join Willie Schmidt on an epic quest to rediscover the last, best, pure hunts that are accessible to everyone, if they're willing to go the extra mile.
Pure Hunting is brought to you by Browning, the best there is. Spot Hog, the world's toughest archery products. Clean Shot, the makers of Knockout, the frustration-free lighted knock. Fox Pro, high-performance game calls. And by The Wedge by Extreme Hunting Solutions. Positions your trail camera properly every time. Top secret deer sense, oxygen-free from collection to bottle. The new Barnett Razor, razor light, razor fast. And Tenzing, go further, hunt longer.
Willie and Santino have flown from Denver to Spokane, Washington to meet with Dan and Rod Staton. The Statons will be hosting them on a spring bear hunt at the Statons family cabin across the border in Idaho.
If I know Rod and Dan, we are going to be in for a great hunt.
These mountains look awesome, and they've got 6 bait sites ready for the 4 of us to hunt.
And the bears are going to be in full rut.
So I'm hoping I can crack the ice and get my first bear down.
The guys will be hunting in northwest Idaho. The area holds abundant wildlife, including whitetails, mule deer, moose, elk, and black bears. The bears are abundant and are very destructive to the local elk herds, especially in the spring when the new calves arrive. Because of the high number of bears, Idaho allows 2 tags per hunter.
Hey, welcome.
The guys meet up with Dan at his CrossFit gym and join a workout session before heading across to Idaho. After the workout, they drive to the Statons' cabin, arriving in time to have a chat around the fire with Rod and Dan about the hunt.
Well, gentlemen, I'm really excited to be out here for my 2nd year, and then, to have my good buddy Willie here for his first Idaho bear hunt.
Look forward to hanging around with you guys for a solid week and learning a lot from you on the bear hunting thing, so thanks very much.
Quite honestly, you guys are helping us out by coming here and hunting these bears, because we're loaded in predators, and we would be so happy to see the elk thrive. The bottom line is bears are just brutal on spring calves, so it's just kind of one of those deals where we got to keep the predators in check, and you guys are helping us out.
I'm ready.
It's the first morning in Idaho, and Willie is heading to a bait site with Rod. One of the attractants they use at the sites is burnt honey. The scent of the honey smoke can attract the bears from long distances.
This is getting hammered. If you see, all these logs now are covered in grease.
Yeah.
So the bears roll these logs out, they get it all over their fur. They go down through the woods, and a bear a mile away will go smell that grease on that bear and follow him back to this bait.
While Willie and Rod freshen up on one bait site, Dan and Santino head out to their separate sites.
Smoke some honey.
So Rod and Dan have set trail cams at every bait that they set. I'm really excited to hunt this particular bait because there's so many bears that are coming into it.
After letting the honey smoke for about 5 minutes, Santino heads up into the tree stand.
Oh man, I just can't believe how beautiful this country is. The setups that Dan and Rod put together are just incredible. I'm getting anxious.
couple of miles away, Dan is heading to a site he set up. As he approaches it, he sees there is a bear already on the bait.
About 400 yards to this bear, clear cut. Sneak in, get my first bear of the year on the ground.
The bear moves into the brush, but has taken 2 well-placed arrows from Dan. While Dan recovers his bear, Santino continues to sit in his tree stand.
Something's moving in the trees over here. There's a bear. He's coming in this way. Oh yeah, that's a mature bear. If he gives me a shot, I'm gonna take him. He's gonna step out right now in the clearing. Oh,
It's the first morning of the Idaho bear hunt, and Santino has just spotted a bear from his tree stand.
If he gives me a shot, I'm gonna take him. He's gonna step out right now in the clearing. Couple more steps. He's down. Oh, he's down. Oh, thank you, Lord. I cannot believe it. Oh, man, I'm just shaking a little bit. Oh, man, I love Idaho. 2014 Idaho bear, baby.
The bear didn't go too far, so I'm gonna go check him out.
He's just laying right over there. Oh, man, that's a nice bear.
Santino has to drag his bear to the ATV and load it up to get back to the cabin.
You flipping kidding me?
Oh yeah.
Real tired of you killing stuff before I do.
Hey man, it was a good sit for sure.
Well, congratulations. Looks like a great bear.
Santino begins to skin out his bear, just as Dan returns with his bear.
Unbelievable.
I see a head.
I do too. Well, it looks like you got a bear.
Yeah, man. Oh, it's nice to have a couple hitting the ground. Nice to see them.
Oh, you're up to bat.
It's been a great start to the hunt, with Santino and Dan taking bears early. Excited by the early success, Willie heads to the bait that he and Rod set up in the morning, with 2 bear tags that can be filled using either a bow or a rifle. He plans to start the hunt with his archery equipment.
So far, nothing. But I'm gonna give it a couple hours sit, see if something comes in. Nothing hit the bait, doesn't look like. It's always a waiting game. It's the anticipation that keeps you going in this game.
After sitting for a while, Willie starts another batch of smoke from the stand, hoping to entice any bears in the area to come in.
Bear coming. The chocolate one's coming in. a nice chocolate. Feel the shot was really pretty darn good. Haven't heard a death moan or anything yet, but obviously give it a little bit of time, and now the post-adrenaline shakes are starting to come in. Wow, what a rush. Oh, baby, that was awesome.
After waiting a bit, Willie climbs down to begin looking for his bear. Willie searches for the bear as the sun goes down, but doesn't find his arrow or any blood before it gets dark.
Well, what every bow hunter hates to do is to not find its animal right away and have to back out. It is really steep, so if that thing was running and got rolling, it could be a lot of places with not much blood. So go get some reinforcements and give it a little more time.
This bear right here, Scarface, you're gonna have to work for this one.
It's the morning of day 3, and Willie has returned with Dan and his friend Tyler to continue the recovery effort for the bear he shot last night.
Okay, we got a CSI crime scene to check out. You have not found any blood?
No, but last night I started going down that way. I didn't want to.
There will be blood.
You know the general direction the bear went, but after that we haven't found any blood spots yet. So that's disheartening. The shot was good. There should be blood.
After nearly 5 hours, Willie and the crew are still looking. They have found the arrow and a sparse blood trail, but no sign of the bear.
There's some blood right in here. Yeah, there's more here.
After losing the blood trail and performing grid searches, the team decides to call off the search for the day as thunderstorms roll in.
Well, let's mark this and call it.
Bow hunting's not perfect. Nobody's perfect at bow hunting.
I've said it a lot. It doesn't make you feel any better. But if you haven't wounded something or missed something, you're either lying or you haven't hunted long enough.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, it's part of the game. I thought I did everything right.
Gosh, frustrated.
Back at the cabin, Willie reviews footage of his shot on the bear again to get a better idea of what happened.
Right there you can see he turned pretty significantly quartering away, and I don't think I moved my spot. My only thought is when he took that step right there, I didn't change my anchor point or my aiming point.
There's a lot that can happen between when the arrow hits them and how they move.
Well, and you look at it, it looks more broadside, but if they're turned a little bit in kind of a C shape, it makes it even more dramatic. So it's just killing me. I mean, what a phenomenal hunt, great experience, but just a little bit bittersweet.
Right.
The storm clears, and with enough light in the early evening, Santino decides to head to the stand, try to fill his second bear tag with his bow. But as he is walking to the bait site, a bear suddenly appears and stands up in front of him. He has to shoot it before the cameras can be turned on.
I saw a little bit of movement when we walked in, and sure enough, there was a bear. My arrow actually hit a tree, and I have some blood on it, so it looked like a good shot, but I think I can see the bear now. And I got fresh blood sign all the way through here. Yeah, buddy. This bear only went about 40 yards, 50 yards.
Santino hauls the bear to a nearby stream to clean it on the bank. That night, the guys look at trail cam photos of a bear that Dan has seen and hunted and discuss a plan for Willie to go after him.
This bear right here is Scarface. I tried killing this bear a few times, and he actually came in with a breeding pair, his sow, and she came right to the bait, but he picked me right off, looked right up at the tree, which is the first time I've ever had that happen. So this is a smart bear. But yeah, you can see he's got a pretty good melon on him.
You know, as you know, Dan, I'd be thrilled to kill a bear that size, one that you know about and is smart. He'd be a nice first trophy.
I mean, he's the bear of the woods in that area, and it's very remote. It's 14 miles to get to. You're gonna have to work for this one.
Yep. All right, get her done.
Oh no, dang it.
It's day 4 of the guy's Idaho bear hunt. After searching for his bear one last time for a couple of hours in the morning, Willie decides to punch his first tag, even though he hopes that the bear has survived. Willie still has his second tag, and he decides to spend the late morning hunting the bear called Scarface with his rifle.
So hopefully the smoke entices something to come by this morning. Sort of strange when I was smoking, I heard kind of a growl or a huff down the bottom, so maybe it's got some bear interest. Good looking bear.
It's going back into the trees. Dang it.
There he is. Sure felt good. Oh, I got my first bear. Heard some crashing down there. Not forever, so I'm hoping he didn't go more than 50 yards. There he is. He's down. Wow.
The first black bear ever. Unbelievable. This is a good bear. This may be Scarface. He's kind of scarred up underneath here. What a bear. Oh, thrilled to death. Looks like older bears' teeth are pretty yellow. I mean, look at that. Look at these claws. That is awesome. All right, let's get him up there and load him in the truck.
Get a bear?
First bear ever.
Congratulations, brother.
Thanks, man. Awesome.
Nice.
So you look familiar, Dan?
Scarface.
Look at those teeth. I mean,
Holy smokes,
You got yourself a big skull, brother.
yeah.
That's a
worth
trophy.
coming out for.
Willie takes his bear to a registration site and has his bear sealed.
Ready to go?
This was an incredible hunt. It was a wonderful time spending the week with Dan, Rod, and Santino in Idaho. It was disappointing not to recover the chocolate bear, but I was finally able to harvest my first ever black bear, and everyone else was able to get at least one bear as well. I can't thank Dan and Rod enough for the invitation, and I look forward to another opportunity to hunt black bears in Idaho.